Muslim, Christian, Jew, Hindu, Buddhist, and atheist 1, 2, and all in between. This is for the absolute positive, good God and truth of your lives. Only crossing bigger and better. If you see my last post or any post I've ever put out, right, you will see that I state that everything that we have been taught through our governments, through our religions, through our science is a lie. And I'll explain. But first, before I do that, I'd just like to say this to anybody who's in power and believes that their faith is going to reign supreme or they're going to win the day with it. You're not. Because all faith, whether it be religious, whether it be through your governments, whether it be just through the faith of you individually, is a absolute lie, a crisscrossing negative lie on what is always more positive and good as truth for you. And you can put out speculatory science, and you can put out AIs, right, that try and program the minds of mankind, right, this corrupt way. But in reality check, right, if you don't take on what I'm teaching you as the absolute authority of you, then in reality, right, you're always crossing unevolved, right? Your best AI, right, is no smarter than the full of faith programming it, which is not intelligent at all, because all faith is a lie on what is good as truth, only crossing more positive than negative always. The only way you can add up, stay, or be good as truth, and the more advanced you become with these lies, the more they're consuming you as individuals, as religions, and as governments, to want nothing of you here and now, lost to history for the lie that you are on all mankind of humanity, advancing only to absolutely bigger and better. And with that, I'll explain everything that I've just stated in brief to you. Listen to me. Every force, this is speaking to the science of you, every force that you speak of, Big Bangs, Higgs bosons, antimatter, electron fields, all these things, right? Neutrons, protons, right? They're all only positive and negative energy to what is good as truth, to the reality check of all shape, form, and mass of creation of existence. As far as your Big Bang goes, I hope your mind is blue with this, because that's as close as you're going to get to a Big Bang creating anything, creation of existence. Because in reality, everything is stated from the Planck length of existence. All time and space is permeated with it. And what that means is everything that exists only smaller and smaller to its parts, all the way down to the Planck length of existence. And when this Planck length, right, only adds up more positive than anything negative about it as a circuit of energy, it makes quark energy. And this quark energy is directly the reason why protons and neutrons are created, okay? And through these protons and neutrons being created, right, indestructible atoms are created, matter is created, the good truth of all shape, form, and mass is created, okay? Now, you can say that antimatter is antimatter or anti-electrons or anti-this or anti-that, but these are all just negative charges of what's more positive. The protons, the reality check of the atoms, the reality check of the energy being a positive energy force. And by you breaking all these things down, right, then you can never address these forces for what they are, these energies for what they are. They're all just positive and negative to the good God and truth of your shape, form, and mass, and they are the neutral of nothing. An atom is a neutral, a neutron is a neutral, okay? And like I said, When this Planck length adds up, right, it makes protons and neutrons. The protons are 2 up quarks of energy, 1 down quark of energy. The neutrons are 2 down quarks of energy, 1 up quark of energy. When the proton overwhelms the neutron, right, which is a reverse polarity of it, right, it makes a sustainable atom of matter. Now, as long as this atom of matter stays more positive than negative with its circuitry, it states it good as truth and it can't be destroyed. When this atom only adds up more positive than negative, right, with its bonding matter to make the good truth the shape, form, and mass it's expressing, it can only cross to an absolute bigger, better here and now. No matter creation of existence to the reality check of mankind, right, can ever be destroyed, disintegrate, decay, suffer out of existence, or die by being more positive than negative. Okay? That is the only way anybody of anything, anywhere can add up, stay, or be good as truth. And it's the absolute bigger, better, Christ-crossing way than all negativity. And the more you try and manipulate that, and the more you try and create other than that, right, through your AI, through your governments, through your faith, through your religions, right, the more you are destroying the fabric of all God, truth, reality check to the reality check of mankind and the earth for it. Listen to me. We have been deceived by a lack of knowledge, and this lack of knowledge comes from our leadership. Some of them are sold out, and some of them don't have a clue. And the reality check is this, right? If you don't know to cross more positive than negative always, or that you have to in order to keep existing good as truth, always to an absolute bigger, better of you here and now, you won't always do it. And through faith, we are taught that things cross bad, evil, and sinful. But I tell you, to cross more positive than negative always is the only way you can add up, stay, or be good as truth. And it's the bad, evil, sinful way of nothing. It's the faith of nothing, and it's the neutral nothing of anybody who is hearing this to the reality check of you. Okay? If you plug a plug into a wall, right, the positive has to outweigh anything negative about that plug, because if not, again, you could burn your house down, or you won't have enough energy to sustain. But as long as that positive energy outweighs anything negative about that plug, there's zero chance you can burn your house down or won't have enough energy to sustain. And your body's the same way. But if you don't know this, you won't always connect back to what's more positive to be good as truth. And the reality check of that is, if you're not only stating more positive than anything negative about you, good as the truth of God or your shape, form, and mass, the only way you can add up, stay, or be good as truth, all you have left is faith. And all faith, right, will crisscross you a gamble and a crapshoot, a gamey vote on your life lasting always, because all faith crisscrosses 2 ways instead of 1 way. Only one more positive than all negativity. It crisscrosses negative and positive through a spectrum of it, not knowing to only cross more positive is the only way that anybody can add up, stay, or be good as truth, as the absolute bigger, better here and now than all negativity. And because we don't know it as a whole, and society doesn't respect it as a whole, right? The substance, durability, and solidness of all things matter, creation of existence, is just not there. It's the gamey way of our faith. It's the gamey way of your AI. It's the gamey way of all things, right? That has no substance, durability, and solidness of it. And it's the gamey way of mankind, right? That is dying of it. Listen to me. I want to explain something to you. When the proton, which is the positive energy of God of you, overwhelms anything negative about the neutrons of you, right? Which is the soul and the matter of you, in total opposite polarity than the proton, right? You are stated good as truth. But if this doesn't always happen, wherever it doesn't happen, right, you become a radioactive he shafting matter from the mind through the body to the world. Now, we're set up like antibodies for Mother Earth, but if you don't know this, right, and you're not always stating more positive than negative from the mind through the body to the world, right, then Mother Earth is only being corrupted by you, man, right, By your faith being negatively deficient of it, wherever it comes up short is where we're being destroyed. Listen to me, anywhere on the planet, right? It's not more positive than negative. It's the leadership of faith, if stated consciously, right, to the bigger and better of all mankind of reality check. And again, like I said, anywhere on the planet, it's not stated by choice more positive than negative to keep that reality check good as truth, right? No matter the people, places, or things of it, right? It's only the faith of blind leading blind fools. And anybody who follows that articulation or that way, right, is out their mind. Listen to me. Good truth only crosses you one way, one more positive than all negativity. The only way you can add up, stay, or be good is truth. All faith crisscrosses you negative and positive. But the negatives and the positives are blind to you because you think the world crosses good and bad. And bad, evil, and sinful are nothing. They're just negative articulations of negativity that you always have to cross back more positive to keep yourself good as truth. Because I'm going to explain something to you. Wherever your atom matter can't bond more positive than negative, right? And the only way it can't do that, right, is through the faith of you, right? Not knowing what's the good truth of you to only cross more positive than negative, right? It causes the neutrons inside your matter to become slightly radioactive. And over a volume of time, right, in extremes, you're in a state of decay and disintegration, suffering it to the one nothing of you, just negative of you here and now, infinitely, right, with the she, he, shafting devil of your faith. You hear me? If Adam would have crossed Eve, only one more positive than all negativity, the only way you can add up, stay, or be good as truth, that's all the example Cain and Abel would have had, and that's all the example of the world would be, because there's no absolute bigger, better standard than only doing that for all God, truth, reality check. Jesus was a man who only crossed all things negative more positive to keep them good as truth. That's why he's the good God and truth of you. Not the faith of your religions, but the good God and truth of you. And because you don't see that example, right, you can't live it and be it. You think that the good God and truth of you died on a cross? Come on, man. The good God and truth of nobody, right, dies. That's the absolute bigger, better here and now than all negativity. And to not know that, right, you are blind and undefined with your faith, out of your mind with your faith, because you don't know what to do with the negatives of you. You think that things are bad, evil, and sinful, and it's just a lie on all God, truth, reality check. As stated at the crucifixion by Jesus and the thief, you have to steal your life back from all foolish faith that will hang you out to one neutral nothing, just infinitely negative of you here and now. One nothing of you here and now with decay and disintegration. The only death of anybody of anything, anywhere, okay? And it's all part of a bigger, better plan. A thief rolled back the tomb, let Jesus out, sent him on his way. Mary seen the thief. She asked him where Jesus was. He said he went that way, right? She gave him a kiss and called him an angel. This is how this story goes. The thief bonded one more positive than anything negative about that fool and all those fools that put him on that cross. And Jesus said, you'll be in paradise with me. You'll be the one who wakes up first. Roll back this tomb for me. And that's exactly how this story went, because you can't kill something more positive than the negatives of it. You can't destroy it. It comes to no decay, disintegration, and it never suffers out of existence to no end. That's just a fact of God check by all the atom matter evolved creation of existence to the reality of mankind check. If you don't know, right, because your leadership is either blind and undefined or sold out to it to cross more positive than negative, right, you won't always do it. You won't always value the substance, durability, and solidness of it to the volume of your life, to the volume of your embodiment of matter, only lasting good as truth here and now. And like I said, on the inside of an atom is protons and neutrons. And when these protons can't overwhelm these neutrons, just like on the outside of an atom, right, they're in a state of radioactive decay and disintegration. And in a neutron star, right? They pulsate with this energy, this negative and positive energy from where they're getting snaked. The same as your matter. When you don't cross more positive than negative, always more protonic than negatively neutronic, right? You pulsate from positive to negative, and in reality check, it collapses you and that neutron star into a black hole abyss, because you're one same type of matter, man, to the reality check of you. And until then, right, a neutron star could last billions of years, and you're created the same way as this neutron star. But if you don't know this, right, then how can you even make it past, I don't know, let's say 80 years old? You just can't do it. In reality, you got 120 years from what the Bible says, but that Bible is speculatory too, because it's created with faith. You hear me? No, in reality, only good truth of that Bible is Jesus, and half of it's been corrupted. If you don't know, right, that the state of one more positive than negative is the only light, joy, warmth, good God, or truth, holy with spirit, for everlasting peace, all of all will ever know or be, you will never know or be it. In reality check, how could you, right? It's the only state that all prayers are answered in, all miracles happen in, all dreams come true in, and it's the only heavenly abode or paradise you will ever know or be in. But if you don't know this, right, because you think you live in a world that crosses bad, evil, and sinful, well, you're just out of your mind all the time from birth to death. And this is what's been going on with us. And to the victor goes the spoil. It's a big power trip. But I'm going to keep it real with you. See, at one time, the earth was a true sister reflection of the sun, with pyramids all over all. And where these pyramids were, they were god kings. And the earth was he shafted by a snake god devil, right? Yahweh of the Bible, Yahweh of the Bible. You name the God of faith, and that's the one. It's the same articulate. It's the same snake god devil, just a different articulation. Shiva shafting, he shafting, destroying the world. And Adam came to himself in the garden, right? He couldn't get his bearings on reality. I don't know from where the world got destroyed or what happened to this guy, but in reality, he could not get his bearings on reality, and he looked up, he seen Eve, right? And her logic was from their logic, which was of faith. And in reality check, right, he took on this fruit of faith. It caused him to become nutty and fruity with his logic to the reality check of him, man. And he spent 930 years, right, thinking God smited him. But in reality, God loved him. He gave him all that time to get right. He never could. You hear me? Because he was stuck in a negative way he thought was a bad, evil, sinful way. And it articulated him all the way to the one nothing of him, infinitely negative of him here and now, and all his descendants up to modern times, which is you. You hear me? If you see this and you're not me, it's you. You hear me? Because, listen to me. I'm going to explain something to you, man. Right? If you don't know, right, that there's nothing negative or there's nothing bad, evil, or sinful or neutral about life, right? The only person you could have learned it from is from me or through the Christ crossing way of Jesus Christ. And the thief, all else is utterly lacked. It is utterly lacking. It is a short change of faith and logic on you. It's no good as truth. And in reality, right, if the sun doesn't shine more protonic than anything negatively neutronic about the earth, right, no life as we know it can keep existing or exist. If you don't shine more positive and protonic than anything negative about your life as you know it, right, can't keep existing. It's just a fact of God. Check with everybody of everything everywhere. I tell you no lie. That's God. Truth, reality check. And like I said, the more we push these lies of faith, right, to the modern age, the more intelligent we become, the more corrupted we become with it, the more static, twisted, scattered, blindly undefined, right, our logic becomes. And it's killing us out quicker than ever. And in reality check, you weren't created for that. You were created as children of God, right? To populate all creation of existence to infinity, to never die. But if you don't know that, all you can think is the good God and truth of you can die, and they died for your sins. I want to explain something to you. How, if God created you with life, more positive than anything negative about your life, right? Cradled in an existence more positive than anything negative about your existence, right? And the only God you will ever know will only be more positive than anything negative about it, right? Can ever create you to die. It didn't happen, right? But it is a way of weeding this corrupted garden always, you see? And that's why it's stated this way to the reality check of mankind. Because, right, if you're less than that by articulation, less than the absolute good truth of an indestructible atom, more positive than negative, as the seeds of God of all you are, good as truth, you won't make it, right? And in reality check, you're not supposed to. But I'm going to keep it 100% real with you. I'm here and now, and I'm not going anywhere. There's a lot of ways I'm being threatened, right? They got this AI online programmed all in my phones, all in my business, right? They come up with commercials. They come up with shows. They come up with anything that will state me some sort of railroaded feeling or way. But let me explain something to you. I'm always just more positive than that negative. When I feel any negativity, I'm stated good as truth. And I will always be the absolute bigger, better here and now of it, no matter what I have to go through, because I know in reality, right, when the negative's over, it's all good. And unless I go absolutely splat, I will always be the absolute positive, good God and truth, the absolute bigger, better way than that. And I won't go splat. And you won't destroy me. And I will consume everything this world has created with faith, whether it be today, tomorrow, 5 years from now, 10 years from now, 20 years from now. It doesn't matter. I'm not going nowhere. I'm only getting bigger and better. When you don't age out, decay, disintegrate, or die, right? Only thing you can do is get bigger and better for it. Good as truth. And as a fact of God check, that's what all you corrupted individuals, sold out individuals, all you perverted individuals, right? Who wanna attack me and come at me in any kind of way, but a more positive one than the negative one has coming, man. Because in reality, you won't make it, and that is a fact of God check again from the full thief man, God King Adamus of all, God truth reality check. I am the Father, Son, and even Holy Spirit of all mankind's negativity, the one neutral nothing I absolutely positively am. The 3 times male, good God and truth of all, God, truth, reality check. I am. Peace.